name's Dawn, I'm the Reclusive Crafter, and today is Quickfire Friday, and it literally is going to be a quickfire today. I've just got a little idea that I thought I'd share with you as to what I do with my bits and pieces. And I quite often see people asking questions like, you know, how do you guys store your die cuts and all those sorts of questions. And whether you've got a lot of them or just a few of them, this is just a very quick idea for you. And this is how I tend to store mine. So I buy these little poly pocket thingies. I cut them to size if they're too big, or I buy ones that are the size I want. And I also purchase these magnetic sheets, and you can get these magnetic sheets in all sizes. And I literally just pop my die cuts onto them. I pop them into the little poly pocket. The reason I use the little poly pockets is because if they do happen to become detached from the magnetic sheet, they just fall into the pocket and you haven't actually lost them, and you don't have to go rooting around for them. And then what I do with them is, where's my box? It's here. I have a number of these boxes. They're like shoe boxes. You can pick them up very cheaply. I actually got a whole stack of mine from IKEA, and you can get them in all shapes, all sizes, but this particular size is really good if you've got the A5 size to pop them in, because they go in that way round. Or you can cut down A4 sizes, and A4 sizes will go in that way round. So you can use them for both sizes. It means you can store your large and your smaller die cuts very simply, very efficiently. You can label them up, you can put little tabs on them, and then this box isn't full, obviously. You can use dividers to be able to see what die cuts are where. So if you've got specific die cuts for Christmas as an example, or birthdays or anniversaries or frames or edges, things like that, you can divide them up so that you can see exactly what you've got. And then they come with lids, so they're very, very good for just popping onto a bookshelf or wherever you want to store them. And that way, you know exactly where everything is. I'm just in the processes of reorganizing my die cuts because I had them, as you can see here, I had them stored any old how. So I had all different die cuts on different sheets, no rhyme or reason to them. So I'm actually going to use my own advice and actually start labeling them up so I can see what's what, because I think as you get more into your crafting days, it's difficult sometimes to find exactly what you're looking for, but at least this way round you will be able to see exactly what you've got. For instance, these I would classify as frames, and they don't really go with the shoe. The shoe I would tend to put in embellishments or something like that. There's a wine glass there which would be really good for birthdays, anniversaries, that sort of thing. So that would probably go into a celebrations divider for me. There's also a thank you there. So again, celebrations or something like that. You know, you can make things, you can make your categories up as you choose to. I've got a leaf there on this one and a little flower. They clearly don't go with these ones, so I would recategorize those. So that's what I'm in the processes of doing with my little bits and pieces. If you've got a lot of them, it can be time consuming, because obviously you've got to cut your shapes down to what you want to fit the boxes that you've got, or however you want to store them. But once it's done, it will save you so much time and energy having to root through. I don't use my die cuts anywhere near, sorry, I'm just going to chuck this over there. I don't use my die cuts anywhere near as much as I could do and would like to, because for me it's such a chore to go through my current storage solution, and basically all I've got at the moment is one of these expanding files with the individual pockets in, and I've got them all on these magnetic sheets, but there's no rhyme or reason to anything, and I have to root through and find what I'm looking for. And to be honest with you, I lose the will to live once I've got sort of a quarter of the way through when I'm looking, and then you can miss it because it's not on the sheet that you thought it was on, etc., etc. This way round, like I say, you can put your die cuts onto a sheet, label them up. I've started this here, as you can see. So these are page edges. So I would put page edges into one particular category. And then when I'm looking for my page edges, I just go to that category and pull that out. Makes life so much simpler. So that is my recommendation. It's entirely up to you how you go about doing it, but I do find storing them on these magnetic sheets are definitely the best way to go. I've used magnetic sheets for quite a long time, and I do find them very effective. I'm going to take that up a notch now and start categorizing them and dividing them out. Popping them into the Polly Pockets is brilliant because, like I say, when they fall off the magnetic sheet, which sometimes they do, it just saves you having to root around in a whole box full of stuff looking for them. So that's it for today, guys. That's all I've got to share with you for today. I will look forward to seeing you all tomorrow for Stash Busting Saturday. And in the meantime, if you've got any questions, feel free to ask. I will just say the magnetic sheets and the little Polly Pockets both came from Amazon. The boxes, you can use any size box or any type of box. You could use shoe boxes if you want to keep things in and just decorate the shoe box. I purposely bought mine because they're an they're an A4 size on one side and an A5 size going across the other way, so I can utilize the same box for two different size die cut sheets. So that's why I did that. But if you've got any other questions, feel free to ask, and I'll look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. So take care, guys. See ya.